In a pivotal moment for the U.S. Department of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's short tenure has been marked by unprecedented turmoil, raising concerns about the stability and effectiveness of the military's leadership. Since his arrival at the Pentagon in January, Hegseth, a former Fox News host with little prior government experience, has faced mounting challenges that have led to accusations of chaos within his inner circle. 3 close advisors were recently escorted from the Pentagon due to allegations of leaking sensitive information, while a former spokesperson publicly criticized Hegseth for disloyalty and incompetence. Current and former defense officials report a growing atmosphere of distrust among military and civilian personnel, with claims of screaming matches among aides and significant bureaucratic delays hampering vital projects. This includes critical initiatives such as President Trump's proposed missile defense shield, dubbed the Iron Dome for America. Hegseth's leadership style, characterized by a lack of experience in managing large organizations, has led to a disjointed effort in executing even basic functions within the Defense Department. Amid these challenges, the Pentagon faces a looming threat from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, which is pushing for a reduction of up to 200,000 jobs from the civilian workforce of 750,000. Hegseth has warned that such drastic cuts could cripple essential operations within the department, adding another layer of complexity to an already precarious situation. The situation has escalated further, with reports that Hegseth disclosed sensitive military information regarding upcoming strikes in Yemen in private group chats on the messaging platform Signal. This breach has prompted some congressional members to call for his resignation, mirroring the growing concern among military personnel about the administration's commitment to operational security. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell dismissed these criticisms, attributing them to disgruntled former DoD employees. Despite the internal strife and external pressures, Hegseth has maintained a degree of support from President Trump, who praised his efforts and downplayed the reported dysfunction. Trump's backing, however, has not shielded Hegseth from scrutiny. The Senate is currently reviewing the circumstances surrounding the Signal chat disclosures, with bipartisan calls for accountability echoing through Capitol Hill. At the heart of Hegseth's agenda is a desire to instill a warrior ethos within the military, which he argues has been undermined by what he describes as woke ideologies. His administration has sought to deploy additional troops to the U.S.-Mexico border and enhance military readiness against rising threats from nations such as China. However, these initiatives have been overshadowed by the internal chaos that seems to pervade his office. As Hegseth contemplates potential changes to his inner circle, including the possible replacement of his chief of staff, the question remains whether he can navigate the complex landscape of the Pentagon and regain the trust of both military leaders and civilian employees. The challenges are compounded by a growing skepticism of Hegseth's team among senior military officials, many of whom have decades of experience across multiple administrations. The unfolding situation at the Pentagon highlights a critical juncture for the Defense Department, where the balance between reform and stability hangs in the balance. With public confidence in military leadership waning, the ramifications of Hegseth's leadership will likely resonate well beyond his tenure, potentially shaping the future of U.S. defense policy. As the administration grapples with these issues, all eyes will be on whether Hegseth can turn the tide and deliver on the promises of reform without jeopardizing the essential functions of the military. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements and shifting geopolitical landscapes, significant developments are unfolding across various sectors. From education to international relations, the latest news highlights the interplay between technology and policy, showcasing how organizations and governments are adapting to new realities. One of the most notable collaborations announced recently is between The Washington Post and OpenAI. This partnership aims to integrate advanced artificial intelligence into the newspaper's search content, enhancing the way readers interact with news articles. By leveraging OpenAI's cutting-edge technology, The Washington Post hopes to streamline the search process, allowing users to find relevant articles more efficiently. The partnership underscores a growing trend among traditional media outlets to adopt AI solutions to retain readership and improve user engagement. This collaboration represents a pivotal step in our commitment to providing our audience with the most relevant and timely information, stated a representative from the Washington Post. Meanwhile, in the realm of education, the U.S. government is taking significant strides to incorporate AI into K-12 schools. A draft executive order has been proposed that outlines a comprehensive plan to introduce artificial intelligence into classroom settings. This initiative aims to equip students with essential skills for a future increasingly dominated by technology. By integrating AI tools into educational practices, the government seeks to enhance learning experiences and prepare students for careers in a digital economy. The plan reflects a broader recognition of the role technology plays in shaping education and the need to ensure that students are well prepared for the challenges ahead. In the political arena, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has unveiled an ambitious reorganization of the State Department. This sweeping plan is designed to streamline operations and enhance the department's responsiveness to global challenges. By reallocating resources and redefining priorities, Rubio aims to position the U.S. as a more agile player in international diplomacy. The reorganization reflects a strategic pivot towards addressing both traditional and emerging threats on the global stage, emphasizing the need for a cohesive and dynamic foreign policy. Amid these domestic developments, international tensions continue to simmer, particularly concerning Crimea. Recent reports indicate that the U.S. is contemplating recognizing Crimea as part of Russia ahead of a new round of diplomatic talks. This potential shift in policy could have far-reaching implications for U.S.-Russia relations and the geopolitical landscape in Eastern Europe. Analysts warn that such a move may embolden Russia's aggressive posture while complicating efforts to resolve ongoing conflicts in the region. As these events unfold, they underscore the interconnectedness of technology policy and international relations. The advancements in AI and the strategic shifts in governmental operations highlight a landscape that is continuously evolving. The implications of these developments will likely resonate well into the future, shaping not only how information is disseminated and consumed but also how nations navigate complex global challenges. As we look ahead, the integration of technology in various sectors will undoubtedly play a crucial role in determining the trajectory of both domestic and international affairs. In a dramatic turn of events on April 22, 2025, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged over 900 points, marking one of the steepest declines in recent months. This sharp drop, attributed largely to ongoing fears surrounding Federal Reserve monetary policy and escalating tariff tensions, has sent shockwaves through financial markets, leaving investors grappling with uncertainty. The day's trading began with a grim atmosphere as concerns about the Federal Reserve's potential interest rate hikes loomed large. The central bank's recent signals regarding tightening monetary policy have raised alarms among investors, particularly in light of a fragile economic recovery. The Fed's stance suggests a more aggressive approach to inflation, which could stifle growth at a time when many sectors are still finding their footing, commented an analyst from a leading financial advisory firm. As the trading session progressed, the mood worsened, exacerbated by renewed fears over international trade relations. Tariffs on imported goods have been a contentious issue, and recent announcements hinted at further increases, igniting worries about a potential slowdown in economic activity. Investors reacted swiftly, leading to a sell-off that saw the Dow hit a low not seen since early 2023. In stark contrast, gold prices surged, reaching an unprecedented $3,500 per ounce. This spike reflects a classic flight to safety as investors sought refuge in tangible assets amid the market turbulence. Gold is often viewed as a hedge against inflation and economic instability, noted a commodities expert. When the markets falter, gold tends to shine. The day also marked a pivotal moment for the markets, as the Dow was on track for its worst April performance since the Great Depression in 1932. The index's decline has sent a clear signal to Wall Street that investor confidence is waning. The term "no confidence" has been thrown around by market analysts, suggesting that the current economic climate is not conducive to long-term growth. With multiple factors at play including inflationary pressures and geopolitical tensions, the outlook remains precarious. Adding to the intrigue, legendary investor Warren Buffett made headlines by perfectly timing his sale of Apple stock, raising questions about his next moves in this volatile environment. Analysts are keenly observing whether Buffett will pivot towards other opportunities or remain cautious in his approach. Buffett's decisions often reflect broader market sentiments, said a market strategist. His timing suggests he may foresee further volatility ahead. As the trading day closed, the tumultuous events underscored the unpredictable nature of today's economic landscape. Investors are left to ponder the implications of the Fed's policies and the ongoing tariff disputes. Looking ahead, market watchers anticipate that these issues will continue to dominate discussions, potentially shaping investment strategies for months to come. The resilience of the market will be put to the test as stakeholders navigate through this challenging period, and any signals of recovery will be closely scrutinized in the weeks following this significant downturn. In a striking turn of events, gold has reached an unprecedented price of $3,500 per ounce. A milestone attributed to a confluence of market tumult following former President Donald Trump's recent criticisms of Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell. This surge in gold prices reflects broader anxieties among investors and signals a flight to safety amid growing economic uncertainties. The catalyst for this dramatic rise can be traced back to Trump's public remarks, which questioned Powell's policies and the Federal Reserve's role in managing inflation and interest rates. His comments rattled financial markets, leading to a spike in volatility. Investors seeking refuge from the turmoil turned to gold, a traditional hedge against market instability. According to analysts, the increase in demand for gold has pushed prices to levels not seen before. Market analysts note that gold's ascent is not merely a reaction to Trump's rhetoric but also indicative of deeper economic concerns. The volatility in the markets has prompted investors to reassess their portfolios, and gold is often seen as a safe haven during uncertain times, said one financial expert. The combination of geopolitical tensions, rising inflation, and potential shifts in monetary policy has created a scenario where investors are keen to secure their assets in gold. The implications of this price movement are significant. With gold now trading at $3,500, it not only establishes a new benchmark but also raises questions about the future direction of monetary policies and inflation rates. Many analysts are predicting that if the current economic climate persists, we could see further increases in gold prices. Some forecasts even suggest that gold could climb higher if uncertainty continues to dominate market sentiment. As the financial landscape evolves, the relationship between gold prices and economic indicators will be closely monitored. Investors and policymakers alike will be looking for signs of stabilization or further disruption that could influence future decisions. Trump's remarks may have temporarily shaken the markets, but they also serve as a reminder of the interconnectedness of global economies and the potent influence of political rhetoric on financial markets. Looking ahead, the trajectory of gold prices will likely remain a focal point for investors navigating the complex landscape of economic recovery and policy shifts. With the potential for ongoing volatility, the allure of gold as a safe investment option may only strengthen in the coming months. As the market adapts to these dynamics, stakeholders will be eager to see how gold's new price level plays into broader economic trends and investor strategies. In a striking demonstration of solidarity among higher education leaders, over 150 university presidents across the United States have united to publicly denounce the Trump administration's recent actions targeting academic institutions. This joint statement, notably signed by heads of prestigious universities such as Harvard, Princeton, and Brown, marks a significant moment in the ongoing struggle between the government and academia regarding institutional autonomy and academic freedom. Published by the American Association of Colleges and Universities (ASANU), the letter articulates a collective concern over what the signatories describe as unprecedented government overreach and political interference in higher education. This response comes in the wake of a series of aggressive moves by the Trump administration aimed at curtailing the independence of universities, including threats of funding cuts and demands for compliance with controversial policies that could undermine academic integrity. The urgency of this collective stance is underscored by Harvard's groundbreaking lawsuit against the federal government, which was filed after the administration announced plans to freeze $2.3 billion in federal funding. President Alan Garber of Harvard made clear that the institution would not yield its independence or constitutional rights, rejecting the administration's claims that it failed to protect Jewish students during pro-Palestinian protests. This legal action, alongside the united front from university leaders, indicates a shift from a previously cautious response to one of more vigorous resistance. Lynn Pasquarella, president of the AACNU, emphasized the necessity of a unified approach, noting a widespread agreement among varied academic institutions about the existential threat posed by the administration's actions. Much has been written about this flood-the-zone strategy that's being used in the current attacks on higher education, she explained, referring to the barrage of executive orders and directives that have overwhelmed university leaders. The statement represents the culmination of discussions among more than 100 university leaders who convened to address these pressing issues. The nature of the administration's campaign has drawn ire from many within academia. Critics argue that the measures being enacted, which include threats to revoke tax-exempt statuses and demands for greater oversight of academic departments, are designed to stifle dissent and erase the diversity and inclusion initiatives that many institutions have worked hard to establish. As noted by the signatories, the atmosphere fostered by these actions is one of repression, jeopardizing the essential role that universities play as centers for open inquiry. One significant aspect of this situation is the potential long-term implications for the relationship between the federal government and educational institutions. The current administration's stance threatens to dismantle decades of collaboration that have been beneficial for both parties. The risk is not just financial; it could fundamentally alter the landscape of higher education in the United States, leading to a homogenization of thought and a chilling effect on academic discourse. In light of the challenges posed by the Trump administration, the collective statement from university presidents serves as a crucial affirmation of their commitment to academic freedom. It is a call to action urging not only the educational community but also the public to recognize the stakes involved. As Pasquarella aptly put it, this is just the beginning of their efforts to confront the administration's encroachments. Looking ahead, the response from the academic community will likely continue to evolve, with university leaders considering further actions to safeguard their institution's autonomy. As they navigate this turbulent landscape, the solidarity among these educational leaders signals a potential turning point in the ongoing battle for the future of higher education in America. The implications of this conflict extend beyond the walls of academia, inviting broader societal reflection on the values of free expression, diversity of thought, and the role of government in education. As the world grapples with the responsibility of preserving historical narratives, a new wave of educators is emerging from an unexpected platform, TikTok. Recent initiatives by video creators on the popular social media app are making strides in Holocaust education, aiming to engage younger audiences through compelling short-form content. This innovative approach not only addresses the challenges of traditional education but also harnesses the power of social media to ensure that the lessons of the Holocaust resonate with the next generation. In a landscape where misinformation can spread as quickly as knowledge, TikTok creators have found unique ways to present historical facts and personal stories from Holocaust survivors. By utilizing engaging visuals and storytelling techniques native to the platform, these creators are transforming the way critical historical events are communicated. For instance, one prominent creator noted, "Our goal is to make history accessible and relatable, to ensure that young people understand the significance of these events in today's context." This grassroots movement reflects a broader trend where social media is leveraged as an educational tool. The interactive nature of TikTok allows viewers not just to consume content but to engage with it through comments and shares, creating a community around learning. Furthermore, educators are increasingly recognizing the platform's potential to reach students who may not respond to conventional teaching methods. A recent study highlighted that over 60% of TikTok users are between the ages of 16 and 24, making it an ideal medium for educational outreach. The need for this initiative has become even more pronounced as the number of Holocaust survivors dwindles. As survivors share their stories, TikTok creators are stepping in to keep those narratives alive. By reposting survivor testimonies and breaking down complex historical events into digestible clips, they are ensuring that the personal experiences behind the statistics are not forgotten. One creator emphasized it's about humanizing history. These were real people with real lives, and we want to honor that. However, this movement is not without its challenges. Critics argue that the brevity of TikTok videos can lead to oversimplification of complex historical events. Nonetheless, many creators are aware of this pitfall and strive to provide context and direct viewers to additional resources for deeper understanding. By linking to educational websites and encouraging discussions in the comments, they bridge the gap between short content and comprehensive education. In addition to individual creators, several organizations have begun to collaborate with TikTok influencers to amplify their messages. These partnerships aim to produce fact-checked content that adheres to educational standards while still being entertaining. As one organization involved in these collaborations stated, "We believe that engaging young people through platforms they already use is crucial. It's about meeting them where they are." The impact of this trend is already visible with increased discussions about the Holocaust on social media platforms. The potential for TikTok to shape public perception and encourage respectful discourse around historical events is immense. As younger audiences engage with this content, the hope is that they will carry these lessons forward, fostering a sense of responsibility to remember and educate others. Looking ahead, the evolution of Holocaust education through TikTok and similar platforms could pave the way for other historical narratives to be explored in fresh, innovative ways. As technology continues to transform how we share knowledge, the challenge will be to maintain the integrity of the content while fostering engagement and understanding. The future of education may well lie in the hands of those willing to embrace change and harness the power of social media for a greater purpose.